the medical director for the Center for Asian Health, and I'm actually a board member for the World Hepatitis Alliance. The World Hepatitis Alliance is the sponsor for the No Hep Village, and this is the first of its kind at any kind of international liver meeting. So you guys are a very special group for being able to experience it. So today I'm going to provide an overview on the Find the Missing Millions campaign. And we have two amazing speakers who will be sharing stories about what they're doing in their own realm of finding the missing millions. So today we're going to hear from Dr. Adeel Khoja of the Aga Khan University Hospital in Pakistan. And then we're going to be hearing from Alice, who will be sharing her story of receiving a Hep B diagnosis and the impact that's had on her and her family's life. So first, I'd like to announce World Hepatitis Day, as many of you know, is July 28th. And our overarching theme for the next several years is eliminating hepatitis. So it is fast approaching. We're in June already. And this is one of the most important days on the viral hepatitis calendar. And many of you, I know, already have plans for your organizations. There's actually, if you don't know, only 4 disease-specific days that are part of WHO. So it's very special that hepatitis is one of them. So in 2016, as many of you know, WHO has committed to global elimination of viral hepatitis. Very ambitious targets that we heard about this morning to eliminate Hep B and Hep C as a public health threat. And we all know that there are huge gaps that we need to massively scale up diagnosis and massively scale up care treatment. And those of you here in this room doing work in the communities, you guys are really the key to doing that, to reaching the populations that are really difficult to reach. At this point, only 9 countries are on target to reach elimination of Hep C, and only 72 countries are on track to eliminate Hep B and those the people under age 5. So that is why the overarching theme still is to eliminate hepatitis. We needed to harness the momentum of World Hepatitis Day to highlight that we really need a lot of action to reach that goal. So, Find the Missing Millions, this brilliant campaign, just highlights the fact that we are in an era where we have vaccines, and they're not for hepatitis B, they're not vaccines for HIV or Hep C. And we have treatment, very effective, safe treatment, oral treatments for Hep B, and we have cures for hepatitis C. So we have really, really important tools that just need to be utilized. So we know that the commitment is achievable, but we need top-down prioritization from governments, policymakers, and we need those of us who work in the communities to really bridge that gap. If you think about it, 2030 is not that far away. 2030 is not that far away. The clock is ticking, and while we have all these tools, we're missing a crucial piece to the puzzle. What is that piece? So of the 325 million people living with hepatitis, 300 million are still unaware. That's 9 in 10 people living with viral hepatitis completely unaware of their infection. Without finding all these undiagnosed and linking them to care, elimination will not happen. And our global targets of diagnosing 30% of the people by 2030 and 95% by 2030. 30% by 2020 and 95% by 2030 will not be reached. That's why we're using the momentum for World Hepatitis Day to launch a 3-year program called Find the Missing Millions. And I'm really happy to hear this. The phrase is really catching on. You heard it several times today by the speakers this morning. And I think the more we use it, the more people understand how important screening is. Find the Missing Millions campaign aims to raise awareness, increase testing both at the individual but also the policy level, and to improve linkage to care. So those of us living with viral hepatitis and all the affected communities, we have a vital role to play in finding the missing millions. We are the ones that know our community. We're the ones who are able to really combat the stigma and the discrimination that keeps so many people from getting tested. The quest to find the missing millions is our website. So we've been talking about the quest. It's a website that highlights the best practices and innovations in screening and testing so that other organizations can learn and develop the national activities. So you see it scrolling through here. So this is something you can access and definitely spread this widely so people see what we have on the website. This is really best practices that we're trying to share around the world globally. And there's a way to sign up too. So all of you here, please get on the website and sign on to be a part of this quest. So today, we're really happy because we want to bring some of these stories to life. We're fortunate enough to be joined by two people who are going to provide examples of how innovative screening initiatives can engage the community and find the hard-to-reach populations. These are really what we need, innovative strategies to find the missing millions. And we'll also have a patient testimonial to highlight why it's so important that we join together to find the missing millions and to eliminate viral hepatitis. So I want to bring up to the stage Dr. Adeel Khoja, who's the Senior Instructor of Research at Aga Khan University Hospital for Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri, for the nice introduction, and thank you for providing such a nice platform. So basically, this is Dr. Adeel standing in front of you, and I'll present a 7-point agenda on which we implemented the same HCV project back in Karachi, Pakistan. And so first of all, what we did was forming a research team to initiate hepatitis screening in the community, consisting of basically two personnel that we started from. And one was the lab technologist or the microbiologist. He was trained for rapid screening test, that is fingerprint test, and the diagnostic test for the gene expert testing. That is basically gene expert is equivalent to the PCR quantitative test. And the second personnel we had was for the community for distribution of labs and placement of banners in the community. So we started this research team, and this was basically our project. This HCV project was funded by Harvard Medical School, Global Health in Dubai. And when we started our project, we initiated from IMS, that is Integrated Medical Services. These are peripheries of EKU sector. Basically, Aga Khan University Hospital is a tertiary care hospital, and the peripheries IMS are secondary hospitals. Their extended community health outcomes program is running for hepatitis C. That is basically, it is providing low-cost solutions into the community for people who cannot afford. It is a basically low-cost test and treat model for hepatitis C. So we initiated our screening activity from that one locality based in Malir. Malir is one of the largest districts of Karachi. And but over there, the major hurdle was that people were not turning up because of lack of awareness in the community. Although we were distributing, the banners, the flyers, but again, because of the low catchment area within the surroundings, people were not turning up. So we then shifted towards the community with involvement of stakeholders and political, stakeholders. Yeah, one thing I wanted to highlight, when we were at the Malir IMS, we found we had it were initial days when we started our screening, but we encountered one patient, basically one security guard working over there, and occasionally we found that we asked him to just get screened because screening was available free of cost over there. First he was hesitant, but later we convinced him to get screening done, and he was positive for that. So because of his meager salary and lack of resources, he couldn't afford the diagnostic and the treatment part. So we counseled him, and he got diagnosed through PCR qualitative testing from public sector hospital, that is a tertiary care hospital. So after being diagnosed positive for LCD as well, he got free treatment from public sector hospital for 3 months, and his end of treatment also was negative after 12 weeks of the last treatment dose, and he resumed his services then. So this is just a little impact of our screening activity when we initiated our activity at Malir. But later when we shift to the community, we involved the community stakeholders and political stakeholders representing targeted union councils. Basically, Karachi is divided into districts, and in districts we have rural and urban union councils. So we had these union councils, and we had regular meetings with them in order to have a good, comfortable environment when we are penetrating into the field. into the community. So, and the later stages we decided that we need to have this, screening activity on regularly on public holidays. For example, Sunday is a public holiday in Pakistan, and then other public holidays as there are worldwide. And so we decided to that we will have these screening activities on public holidays. So this helps us, regular meetings with the stakeholders helped us a lot in having a good penetration into the community. Moreover, we were lucky, since you are aware that Pakistan is a very, it is a democratic country, but political instability is creeping it now and then. But we have a good, fortune that we were able to work with the community stakeholders in that regard, and they were very keen in supporting us, and in particular the common masses that were being affected. So we began our screening activities on Sundays with the distribution of flyers, brochures among common masses targeting busy and relevant areas. So basically we targeted shops, restaurants, mosques, community centers, schools and colleges. Now why we told schools and colleges? Because we were targeting children as well. Because children, according to us, are the best teacher for their parents. So, and in some cases we were going door-to-door distribution, giving flyers and brochures in the community where the catchment area or the given councils were very small. So we were going door-to-door as well. So in order to create a good amount of awareness into the community, and while we were counseling them to come into the community for screening, specific screening days, we had this element of creating a little bit of fear factor, because as we know that behavior modification required a tagging or a changing of fear factor. So we told them that what associated morbidity and mortality was there with HCV. So in that case, we were beneficial with the help of stakeholders, community stakeholders, and with this distribution of the flyers, pamphlets, and brochures. We entered the community, and till date we have done 19 screening camps, along with the awareness sessions that I will talk about. And we have nearly carried out 4,000 screening activities, out of which 567 were positive. That makes a prevalence of around 14%. So, along with the flags and brochures, we had this big banners in the market areas just 3 or 4 days according to the screening day. As per the screening day, like for example, if Sunday is the screening day, we had this value of 30. We had put in the this big banners in the market areas so that they got to know which specific date it was, the date was, and the time and the venue for the screening camps. The next point that I want to highlight was that along with having screening, camps, we had the screening awareness sessions as well. Bilanguage and going side by side. So these are basically the awareness sessions which we held every fortnightly basis. This is exactly 1 week prior to the screening camp. If one Sunday we had the screening session, the other Sunday would be screening camp. So in that, we had 2 advantages of having this community awareness sessions. Basically, number one was that it created awareness among common masses with respect to HCV, and the second was that we involved the local general physicians and the community physicians over there. So we had this regular capacity building of them. And they used to tag along with our experts, our gastroenterologists from AKU, and we used to train them so that they can create much more awareness to those patients who are screen positive, so they can get the treatment, they can get the diagnosis and the treatment subsequently from either the ECO program running at the IMS, or they can contact us and we can get the gene expert testing that is equal to PCR quantitative free of cost from our budget, and then we can tag along them to free of cost treatment to either the NGOs or the public sector hospitals where there was free of cost treatment. So basically what we found was that it was 14% seroprevalence in our community who screened positive, and till date we have done 54 study participants enrolled for the ECO program for diagnosis and treatment, but this is again very low as compared to the screen positive patients. This is because there's a lack of awareness, and the second is they cannot afford the treatment cost. And 85 study participants have been diagnosed positive. They are taking free of cost treatment from either NGOs and other public sector hospitals. Till date, we have performed 215 gene experts, that is equal to PCR quantitative, and out of that, 145 are positively diagnosed. 67 are negative. Why these are negative? Because either they were currently on treatment, or they were taking, or they had completed the treatment basically, and we have shown errors on machine. So a similar study was conducted. This is basically our study was conducted in the urban settings of Mali district. A similar study has been conducted in the rural district of Karachi, the same Mali area, and it was a pivotal study in the area known as Jamkanda. Where we have a very famous NGO called Hands Hospital over there as well working. So there in that study it was highlighted that the prevalence of HCV was 24%. According to us it is 14%, but still our study is ongoing and we intend to finish it by December 2018. And participants were basically approached through systematic random sampling in that Jamkanda study, and in that they assessed associated risk factors for HCV among men and women. So this is all from my end. I welcome any questions that I have. I have presentation of this full-fledged project on Saturday afternoon. So if anybody is interested, I will give a full presentation covering the screening, diagnosis, and the education care part. Thank you.
So next I want to introduce Alice. Alice is part of the Hep B Foundation's Just Be storytelling campaign. If you guys have not seen this website, I encourage you to go on it. It is one of the first of its kind, really, to tap in the power of people living with hepatitis B. I think really it's been difficult for us to get our stories out there, and a lot of times people say, oh, Asians are so quiet, they don't like to talk about things, and we realize that if we don't talk about it, nobody else is going to pay attention to the disease. So I'm really proud of Alice for coming out with her story, and this program. I don't know if you're going to talk about it at all, but the way they trained people to tell their personal stories. They give them a computer. They actually all the videos. They make the videos themselves, and they come out so remarkable because they're really just so personalized. So if you ever need something, like you're hosting an event and you want to do an awareness session, just play one of these videos. Like honestly, it's better than having a doctor speak because people pay attention to personal stories. I think sometimes more than they listen to a doctor's medical facts. So Alice, why don't you come up and share your story with us?
Thank you, Dr. Wang. It's my pleasure to be here. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Alice Chen, and I'm from California. And so I was kind of involved with the Hepatitis B Foundation just the beginning of this year. So I'm still very new, to the foundation and the program. However, I can tell you this is my first time starting the beginning of this year that I start open up. Because even though I have been living with the chronic hepatitis B, and for the last 40 years after I was diagnosed, I never have the courage to talk to anyone openly except my family member and some immediate friends. So my story is when I was first pregnant with my first child. My OBGYN doctor did the blood screening and tell me that I have hepatitis B, a chronic carrier. So at that time, I was terrified with the diagnosis because I feel like I've been healthy all this time. So in a way, it's very angry and denial why I have this disease. So by the time with look back to what I have. Did I get it through a needle stick? Did I get it through blood transfusion? Or did I get it through sexual transmission? And I don't feel I have any involvement with those elements. So I'm questioning, where did I get it from? Finally, I talked to my mom. And I tried to clue her, what is it about? Does she know that she had hepatitis B? Does she know she had the disease? She still keep on kind of like push it away until I kind of finally, also talked to my brothers because I have 4 brothers. And then 3 of them also have the hepatitis B. And so by the time I'm kind of questioning my mom, it's not easy. She finally admitted when she was young, the doctor told her she has the liver disease. So at that time, I was so worried. My mind is really kind of like out of the way because I'm pregnant with my first child. So now it's not on me. So I'm thinking about what happened to the newborn. So at that time, my focus is on my newborn. Will my newborn get the chronic hepatitis B? Because at that time, I don't know much about, until I research more. Fortunately, my OBGYN at that time was very good to do the screening and also reassure me. That was, telling me, don't worry, that he will follow the protocol, treat the delivery. And all the protocol he carried exactly is what entail and is one for the procedure and the parameters. So back to my family. I was raised, in a very traditional Chinese family. And talking about illness and disease is taboo. So my mom and my grandma always telling us, we don't talk about disease, otherwise we will jinx you, So don't say anything bad, Always keep everything is good. Even though they have illnesses, they won't tell us until they're very late, by the time really in pain. And I remember when I was a kid, I remember I do have some jaundice or yellow in my eye white. And I was tired at some point, at least a couple times I feel like I'm in a whole week, I was very ill. But my family, my mom and my grandma say, it's okay, we'll give you some herbal meds, you will get okay. After a week, bounce back, that's fine. So, but anyway, sorry that my story sometimes out of sequence, okay? So, when my child, 2 children, when they were newborn, and they had vaccinations before they discharged from the hospital. And after that, they were followed through with another 2 shots of vaccine within a year old. And they had 2 tests after that, a year old and a 2 years old. And it came back as negative. I was so pleased about it. So that really you can see the vaccination really saved lives. So my children are living a healthy life. So I'm so pleased. But however, I know that since I'm a chronic hepatitis B carrier, I have 25%. At that time, my doctor told me I get liver cancer. So my fear came to me that am I going to see my child when they grow up? Kind of so worried. After a while, I feel like I need to do something for myself. The diagnosis here is out of my control, but I need to do something to overcome and try to reduce my fear. Then I'm kind of resilient, and I also endure with hope. I feel like I can do something to overcome. So I start to look into a healthy lifestyle, exercise, work out, eat healthy, and then also kind of like I feel like I'm not going to rely my mom to keep it as a secret. So I really start young, I open discussion with them about any health issue, disease. And I was so kind of pleased that when they went to Chinese language school during the weekend, so I was able to get the permission to set up hepatitis B group, and talk to the parents and have them to be involved too. Like the doctor was talking about children are the good teacher, the best teacher. So and then that is really rewarding experience. And then they continue to promote the hepatitis B prevention and awareness to the community when they are at college. So that was really something I like them to continue to do. But anyway, so I mentioned about how I overcome my fear. This is my healthy lifestyle that I adopted. And then also to reach out to the community. Those are the hard-to-reach community who has language and cultural values. So that's my passion for the last 15 years. So I've been outreach to the Asian community in California, start with Sacramento, and then join, being recruited as part of those the Asian American Cancer Awareness Research and Training and course, and so can continue to promote the awareness on my volunteer time. And so we also did some minimum advocacy work, to promote to the legislature about how effective is the vaccination and also the testing to eliminate or reduce, the Hep B. And I'm so excited to hear the World Health Organization's goal since I registered for the conference that we are trying to eliminate it in 2030. I think in the next 12 years, as a community member, we have a lot to do. And other than, the professionals, so I really feel like all those I have mentioned have been my savers for the last 15 years. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Alice. You are petite, but you are a force. It sounds like you have done a lot, and I'm really, it's just so amazing to hear how somebody kind of breaks all those barriers, and changes really, practices that have been ingrained in you from childhood, and how you really kind of broke out of that with your own family. So I hope you guys are all inspired by this quest to find the missing millions. I encourage all of you tonight, for your bed, get on the website and join the quest. Go on the website and join as a participant. Our table, if you have any other questions, is over there for the World Hepatitis Alliance. And if you don't already have something planned for World Hepatitis Day, this is a great place to get ideas, or maybe even partner with a group that's already doing something in your area. So thank you all for being here, for sitting and listening to these wonderful stories.